Hello there, everyone. My name is Matt, and we're playing some Rebel Inc. today. This is a continuation of the series where I play through the brutal challenges. Every week, the developer, Ndemic Creations, releases a new normal challenge and hard or brutal challenge that are variations of the main game with different tactics, features, and various scenarios to which you need to adjust your strategy. So this is a series in which I start the hard challenge, the brutal challenge, after never having seen it before, analyze the various tactics and features, play through the game, and hopefully win, and then share it for all of you to see. A little disclaimer, this series does require some familiarity with the game. If you are a new player, you might get a little lost. In the near future, I'm going to be publishing a How to Play Rebel Inc., where I talk a little bit more about the how to get into it and how to understand the various mechanics. And when that is published, I will be putting it down in the description of this video. But until then, let's go ahead and dive on in. It's a single-player weekly challenge, brutal challenge, Sharp Hermes. Let's do it. Alright, so I think this is the Mountain Pass map, is what it looks like. And we have the General. General can be a little tricky. It really depends on the features and tactics they'll be associated, because he's very military heavy, and that comes at the cost of all the non-military stuff being more expensive. So once I look at the tactics and features, we'll see what that looks like. No territory owned by me or the insurgents, but a decent number of advisors. Let's see what we got. A gain bonus support level in remote zones. That can be useful. It isn't, I guess, gain bonus. I think that'll be relatively useful, especially with the number of mountains in this map. Coalition soldiers, significantly more effective at preventing collateral damage from airstrikes. That'll help with reputation, not a bad thing. Security initiatives cost less, also not a bad thing. Can go into debt at the expense of reputation. I haven't played with this guy too much. I think he's one of the advisors from the DLC. I'm not sure how that's going to play out. I think that could be helpful with the General because of how expensive things are for him, but he also can struggle with reputation, so I'm honestly not sure how that's going to shake out. And start with more stabilized zones. Oh, okay, so I guess I will get some territory. I think that's what that is going to do for me. When you start with territory in one of these challenges, it can be a little tricky because you don't gain the reputation for stabilizing them, but you also, they are vulnerable to attack, and if they get attacked and you lose, they become unstable, they are treated as any other zone. So, really depends on where they are. Let's take a look down at the features. Priority concern. Locals in this region have a significant concern to be addressed. That really depends on the concern. Sometimes it's useful, sometimes it's not. We'll see what happens. Anti-corruption initiatives become significantly more expensive. That can be dealt with. That's a little frustrating, but we can deal with it. I don't think... Again, I just need to slot more money for that. In my experience, the General buys things at a slow enough pace that corruption doesn't get too out of hand as long as you're careful, just because things are more expensive. So that may not be too big of a deal, but we'll see. Starting with a national soldier is great. More soldiers is never a bad thing, especially with the General where you can make them more powerful easily. Start with significantly more garrisons. That's going to be fun, I think, because the General already starts with 3 garrisons plus the HQ, so I don't know how many I'm starting with, but that's pretty cool. Start with a higher support level, never a bad thing. Insurgent tactics. Oh, that's interesting. Insurgents can kill national soldiers, requiring more to be trained. So this means I need to be real careful about where I commit my national soldiers. I can't just keep them someplace indefinitely. And combat recruitment. Insurgents increase in number when soldiers flee combat. So what this says to me is this is going to be a game where I really need to pick my battles, because I get punished if I leave a soldier there, and I also get punished if I flee. So what I'm going to need to do is, as if I commit a soldier to a battle, I need to make sure that it can win that battle, or else I'm going to have a problem here. So that is something I need to be aware of as I move forward. So, but yeah, this should be an interesting one. I'm really curious how some of these are going to play out. So let's go ahead and give it a shot. All right, to Hilly Canyon. Let's do it. Okay, we have these two stable. This one I'm not even going to bother with. This one is almost always one that gets attacked. If I wasn't using the general, I'd put my HQ here because that can defend it a little better. But having the general means there's going to be more garrisons, so odds are good I'll end up with one close by to it. So I'm going to go with my usual spot and start it off here. Ah, perfect. I started the garrison in there. At the beginning, let's go ahead and start off with our... In Mountain Pass, I find that roads are extra valuable. So I'm going to start with those, and then I am not going to buy that. This is a tricky one with that one feature. I can buy this, but I only have $3 left, so I need to wait to get a little bit more before I can do that. And while we're here, and part of it is because I didn't actually see how expensive this was, because this is a required one. Oof! Alright, that is $10 more, so I gotta be careful with my money here. So we'll see how this goes. Alright. Okay, that's good. Now, for now, I'm going to start by using my soldiers to gather some intel. Let's move you here first. There we go. Sorry, had it paused. That's why I was taking so long. There we go. Alright, you're on your way up there. And let's move you up here, spread some of the intel there. I'm almost at the point where I can get that extra intel. And that will be useful. There we go. Let's go ahead and do that. Nope, not there yet. Again, I find my games with the general are usually pretty hit or miss, just because it just gets so expensive. But I do start with some stability and more support level, so it does give me a little bit of an advantage over what I usually have. I think... Okay, it looks like health is going to be a concern, so maybe I'll get that started. Corruption is still fairly low, but part of me wants to save up for it in the early game so that I can, since it's going to be more expensive, part of me wants to get that much earlier. And I think I'm getting close, so I think I'm going to do that first. Meantime, collecting my intel. Alright, we're one away. I think that's close enough that I can go ahead and do that. Oh, perfect. That was because of inflation. Let's see, has this started here yet? I have not gotten roads built there yet. I'll try to pick up highways next, and then I'll get to health. How much do I need for highways? 11, yeah, because things are way more expensive with the general. I do want to point out the military initiatives are unlocked for the general. I almost never use, before the insurgency pops up, I almost never use that feature because I find that the coalition soldiers just go away so much faster and aren't really any use if you do that. So I don't want to do that. So let's just go ahead and start rolling out some. Oh, perfect. It's a remote specialist. So quick note on specialists is with urban, remote and rural can be useful. Urban is almost never useful to have because so little of the fighting happens in urban zones. I guess it can be, but usually I find the cash is better. The remote ones I generally like to keep, but honestly, I have an extra soldier, or I will have an extra soldier once I start rolling out soldiers, and things are so much more expensive in this game that I think I'm going to take the cash. I think that's more valuable to me in this game. So that's 5 is a little low for that, but whatever. Alright, and let's let him hover near here. And let's go ahead and start breaking out health. And we have enough for education as well. Let's let that roll out a little. I think this zone's going to stabilize. We're almost there, actually. That's pretty quick. I think maybe it's because the garrison is there. Once I start rolling out soldiers, getting the garrison initiatives for support level defense will make this game go much more smoothly. There we go. Now we're going to start with our initiatives. I'll wait until I have enough for that. Okay, let's get you up here, because there's less garrisons here. And you're, oh wow, already. This is more powerful than the national soldier, so I'm going to let him do the heavy lifting where there are fewer garrisons, and then I'll use this guy to go down here because all of this should be pretty well defended. Refugee crisis. Ooh. I usually like to do prepare land to gain the 2 reputation. It gives you an option. This event gives you an option to gain more reputation later if you pick the right choice. But my reputation is good, and money is a concern right now, so I think I'm going to go ahead and just do limited preparation this time. Maybe that's an error. I suspect that this guy came from over here, so I'm going to see if I can take out the... because he's probably not here. I just had a soldier here, and he can't be here, so I'm pretty sure the base is there. So let's go ahead and see if I can take it out quickly. And then that'll be one less group of, one less spawner to deal with. Perfect, I was right, awesome. Alright, let's let that kill that, and then I'll move the soldier down here to take care of that. And I'll lose this zone temporarily, but that should be okay. Let's go ahead and do that. Yep, that's fine, that's okay. It's early yet. Let's go ahead and start getting garrisons out, because again, once I get the increased support level in zones with an initiative, with a garrison, that'll help me defend it, I guess. Usually I don't like to put them in remote zones, but I might be able to get away with it this time. I do see this question mark here indicates the other base is there. Maybe I'll sneak up and try to take it out, but I'm not sure I'll be able to. I do want to get... I forgot. The PR is more expensive with General too. Everything's more expensive. Alright, let's... My support level's low, my corruption is getting a little high. Let's wait on these guys. I think I can wait. Let's see if I can get corruption level 2. And get that out there. Yeah, it's starting to tick up fairly quickly. Alright, let's see if I can pop that. Usually I like to... I'm playing this one a little differently, because usually I like to leave one base in an area I can control, so I know where it is, but I don't... kind of trying to protect this zone here. Maybe that was a mistake to put a... Oh, there we go. Okay, so I'm gonna have to protect that zone. What we'll do, let's start with this, and then what I can do is get some extra security at those places, and that'll help me a little bit. Because you'll see, even though this is a stable zone, just look here, even though this is a fully stable zone, it says you need to maintain at least 681 supporters. I only have 161. So this is an example of, it is stable technically, but if it ever becomes unstable, it is not going to get stable again right away. Not until I have it. Alright, both of those are done. Let's see what we want to do. Let's go ahead and get... I'm close enough to PR. Let's go ahead and let that out. And I'll let one of these guys sit here, now that I have 2 of them. Nope, 16. I need 16. My bad. With every other governor, I believe it's, with every other governor, I believe that it is 12. Now this is one, when you have guys here, this is the city that almost always gets attacked. So, gotta keep an eye on that. I should have actually... It was an error to move our guy. No, because I was getting rid of the camp. Alright, I got my other camp right here, so that means this is gonna get attacked, but that does have a garrison there, so that should be okay. Cash is pretty valuable. I'm gonna slightly decrease coalition strength. I think that's okay. I think I'm shaping up to have some pretty powerful national soldiers, because the general has these 2 special initiatives that allow him to get that much more powerful national soldiers. Excuse me. let's see what people want. People still want health, so let's go ahead and get the next level of health, and let's get the outreach office to get them out faster. Alright, let's allow you to take that, that's fine. And you know what, I do actually want to get my next soldier rolling. Great, so that's good news. Okay, I think that's enough. Yes, it is perfect. Alright, cool. Oh, that's gonna be slow, but I have extra security there. So what I'm gonna do is I think next I have enough. Let me grab this. That makes soldiers a little bit faster. And the good news is normally with these soldiers, you have to wait until you buy the third and fourth one to boost their combat. The general has much cheaper ones that allow for better combat effectiveness, and you can get them much earlier on. I'm not going to get them yet, because I think we're in pretty good shape right now, and I don't need that. I think it's better to focus on, well, I guess insurgents are the main form, but I think I might... Corruption's actually not doing too bad either. I'm in pretty good shape, all things considered. Let me see. We need some jobs. Maybe I'll start getting some jobs out. Just try to stabilize some zones, so final push becomes a little easier. Okay, or I can spend money on a random thing. Here, I really like it when I have extra coalition soldiers to embed. Oh, you know what? Actually, let's do it this way. It's about the same amount of money for a coalition soldier. So if I get that, I should have 2 of each. With this event, you generally need 1 coalition soldier for every national soldier in order to pull it off. And if I buy a new soldier, now I have enough. So I can do that, and now we have more powerful national soldiers. But it does mean this guy's going to need some help. So let's get another national soldier. Because this is the one where it's going to constantly be attacked. Alright, corruption is starting to be... I'm getting zones stabilizing on their own pretty quickly. So I think bringing these guys up to... I think going up for corruption... anti-corruption 3 is probably the way to go. And we're almost there, too. So that's 23. There we go. Whoop. Alright. Move over here. Okay, health is starting to get better. I think it might be better to go for jobs soon. Because we're doing pretty good, honestly. Interesting that this is having so much trouble, but I guess the soldiers, I've already weakened the national soldiers twice, so I guess it's not that surprising. Or, sorry, not weakened the national soldiers, weakened the coalition soldiers twice. So that means that what I want to do is prioritize my national soldiers. Oh, and just in time. So this will give me 4, and I think this should be the next purchase. That'll give my soldiers just a little bit more strength without too much expense, and that means that I can freely give up my coalition soldiers. And I think I might actually be proactive. We're probably getting to the point, it's the insurgent capability, 86. It's not too high, but we're probably because I was able to take out those 2 camps so early on. But let me send this guy home while he's not in combat, and let me be proactive and actually grab... You know what, I have enough for PR too. That'll be a big boost, and then I'll grab 4 relations. Okay. So this guy over here, do a little defense. Yep, I lost this one, but that's alright. Let's be proactive and get that. There's something, one of the... What do we got? One of the things, priority concern, something with... Start with national soldier, start with higher support level. There was something with locals in this region. I thought there was something with security. Security initiatives cost less. Okay, maybe what I'll do is I'll grab universal justice next, and then start getting some police. Because that'll be... I don't know how necessary that is, though. I'm in really good shape, and I got a ton of garrisons. Okay, we'll have to let this guy fight it off. Not enough garrisons, though. Or not strong enough garrisons. There we go. That'll do the job. I mean, I have the feature. I might as well use it, but no one really needs. I think jobs is the thing I need to focus on. Yeah, security is cool and all, but I think getting some job initiatives out is probably the next best thing. One of those guys, not bad at all. Let's have this guy hang out over here just in case I get attacked unexpectedly. And I'm going to have him hover in this region so he can access this area more. Let's go ahead to... for both these, only have enough for one. Let's get this one first. And maybe I should have done the other one. That's alright. Now I have enough for the other one. Okay, good. And what I really want is this one, remote subsidies. That'll help development benefits reach the isolated communities. And that's very good for them. Yeah. So there's so many remote zones here that getting that is very valuable. Alright, insurgent activity is pretty well contained, honestly. Getting attacked here. Let's move on. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Now, just out of curiosity. Yeah, see, this one still does not have enough to maintain stability. This one does. So even if I lose this one, it will become stable again. But the other one will not. Let's go ahead and get the remote subsidies going. That'll be helpful. I think it's already popping up there. Yep, remote subsidies provided. Great. What we got? Perfect. So that's good that I bought that earlier. I'll let it tick up a little bit. So here you have, usually I'll do subtle pressure. If I don't have the Foreign Relations Office, I can't pick this one. So I usually try to wait until I get it before I pick this. And now that it's a really low chance, I'm going to let it increase a little bit, since as long as you have the Foreign Relations Office, it will increase over time. Let's go ahead and go for Universal Justice. That'll give me a boost that I need to maybe do some things. Wow, I'm getting peace already. This is actually going pretty cleanly. Alright, I'm going to lose this. Okay, nothing happens. Unfortunate, but that's alright. Let's go ahead. Okay, let's protect you, because that is my HQ zone. I have the funds. Let's go ahead and grab anti-corruption 4. Yeah, I went negative for funds. I did see that. Interesting. Okay, with this map, for some reason, every once in a while I'll have insurgents pop up here with I'll have insurgents pop up in this zone with no camps nearby, and I cannot figure out why that is. If you know, please put it in the comments, because I do not know why that happens sometimes. But I killed them, so that's fine. Maybe it's... Wait a second. No, they're happy. They seem to be doing okay, so I'm not sure why. I'm really not sure. Let's go ahead and grab. How much are these? They're a couple bucks cheaper. There was something else I wanted before I do that, though. All right, I think I'm gonna start. Let's get my mass soldier out. Get him going. And then I think we're almost ready for the final push here. Whoops. I'll lose that one. That is a fairly major population center. Yeah, corruption will tick that down. That's fine. Let's get this rolling out a little bit more. Other developments. Helpful. There we go. And let's grab drones. That's fine. Let's bring... Oh, wait, no, you can stay here. Let's bring you over here. You're getting attacked. And you'll have enough to protect it. I'll send it home. How powerful are the insurgents right now? 95. They're more powerful than before. They're not. Definitely not overwhelming right now. And I think it might be time. If I have enough, I'll wait one more. Yeah, still corruption is my highest. The good thing about drones and airstrikes is that they do not cause corruption, because they are coalition initiatives. So the pressure again, still under 50. I'll let it tick up a little bit more. And I think I might start pushing it here. Let's get my second one of those. Okay, things are going pretty well. Okay, little bit weaker. All right, we're starting to get to the end game. Yep. All right, there we go. Do I have? Yeah, I got that. Let's get you. I think you're getting attacks down here because I see this guy moving. And let's hold him off. I'm gonna need to put another soldier around here. Depends on which direction these guys go. They're fleeing there. Maybe I should have. Alright, I think at this point I can move that guy out of the way. Let's get one of you, and let's get a security chief. And what I want, I wish I had a garrison here, but I'll have to make do. What I want is to put you here. Once you guys are done fighting, as soon as you see the arrow, you can move them and move you over here. Hopefully by the time he's done with this guy will be here. I'm push it down. If not, I'll just fight again. Alright, I guess I do need to protect that. Yep. That's alright. It should be okay. Oh, another one of those. Another camp popped up. What do we have here? Yep, that's about right. Let's go ahead. I got some cash to burn. Let's go ahead and do that. And let's go ahead and let's get some remote roads going. Alright. You should pop out close enough for me to go boom and bring you up here. Alright, now I have 5, which is fun. In a normal game you only usually get 4 soldiers. So having 4 national soldiers at least, excuse me. So having 5 is actually pretty fun. Let's do that, bring you down here, and then once you're done fighting, which you are, I'll bring you here, and then that'll clear up this whole zone. I think it's time to start getting some civil assistance programs going. You are having some trouble here. I don't like that. Oh, I went low. Okay, I miscalculated. That was my mistake. That's alright. I think we'll be okay for a second. Let's kill this off first. And okay, great. Move him up here. Let's leave these 3. I should be able to protect the rest with just 2 for right now. So let's leave these 3 here and try to get these zones stable, or at least more stable than they are right now. And help with that. Do that. And now I am getting fairly high on corruption, which I don't want. So I might do a purge in a minute to lower that. Oh, I'm pretty close to finishing them off, honestly. Well, not finishing them off, but getting to the point where I don't need to, where I can talk to them there where they feel very, very threatened, which is fun. This is a pretty good. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to talk with them. No. All right. Lost the roll of the die. I think I'm gonna get what's the next step? Let's get some water and let's get more roads. And then I should probably purchase the purge. Those are expensive. Whoa, 37 for that one. All right, let's just get up to corruption purge 1 and go from there. I'm gonna put him here, try to chase all those guys into here. On this map, this zone here, Bravo Mike, is a great zone to push insurgents into to finish them off. So you guys are doing great. Let's bring you up here, see if I can get those finished off. There's not much else I need to buy at this point. I just really want to push these ones over the edge. Ah, that's something I can buy. An empty cave is gonna be a problem in a minute. And I still need to get my my corruption purge, so I'll do that as soon as I get the funds. I know, I said that for like the last 4 months or something, but... Alright, perfect. Yep, they're hiding there, so... Go ahead and kill them. Ooh, great. I can build a garrison, and now I can move you down here to protect. Do my corruption purge. That helps. Perfect. They're persistent, I'll give them that. Where are you attacking? I see you coming. I'm not sure where. Down here. This is a very valuable zone that I haven't really... That is one thing I will note, is that in this region, in Mountain Pass, usually this zone here, Zulu Sierra, is an incredibly valuable zone that is attacked constantly because it's the name of the game. It's Mountain Pass. It's the only way to get from this side to this side. Fast with any speed whatsoever. So it's really important to keep that and maintain that. And here I really haven't had to deal with that. I think I got lucky with having a garrison there, as well as having it stable. I'll let it go. Alright, awesome. That frees you up. The reason I'm waiting for these zones to stabilize is because in general, except I think on some instances on Mega Brutal mode, insurgent camps won't pop up. There's no reason to wait on this. This is at 100%. I don't need to wait for it to tick up anymore. I'm just going to go ahead and click it. Except on Mega Brutal, insurgent camps don't really pop up in zones that are stable. So waiting for these to stabilize means I will not have to deal with these areas for the rest of the game. I am curious why this is taking so long to stabilize. It's probably because it was attacked a couple of times, so maybe I'll just try to roll out. You know what? I don't usually get this, but I do want to get more initiatives there, so let's go ahead and do that. That's fine. Yep. We're going to make them apologize, and I think it's time to introduce democracy to the mountains. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to get our event here in just a moment, and I think it's time to start. Where do I push from? Usually I push from here up here, but I think I can take this out pretty easily. Yep, there we go. We can go ahead and prioritize elections. That'll be a good form of that'll be some good reputation there. Now that we're pushing into territory and I have the funds, I think I'll do that. And I think I'll let the inflation tick down a little bit and let the corruption go down a little. Okay, you're doing good. Let's get you up here to... Oh, wait, no, that's not going to be useful. Well, he's already moving. I find that when you start them moving, it's actually easier to let them finish moving to their current place, especially when it's close. Hello again, everyone. Sorry about that. Had a bit of a technical difficulty, and the recording cut out on me for a second, but we're back and picking up right where we left off. So let's just go ahead and keep going and finish this up. So what I was saying before is if I've already started moving a soldier close to where I want him to be, I'll let him finish and then bump him up a little bit more to where he needs to go. At this point, we can fully reform. Sometimes for women's rights law and other things like that, sometimes we get backlash in the rural or remote zones, but at this stage in the game, we're in really good shape. Aha! Alright, that's a little higher than I'd like, so let's see if we can clear some of these zones before we get that. So here, you have the chance to gain 5 reputation here, but I have a decent chance you lose a ton of reputation if they do interrupt it. Same here, but the chance is much lower, so I'd rather take lose the 1 reputation than more than that. So once this zone is cleared up, though, that number will drop considerably. You're all done, so I'm just waiting on you to be done, and that'll be all set. Prison insurgent leaders. Okay. And then what do we got here? 15% chance? Let's go for it. I like my odds. Perfect. Alright, good. Got away with it. Alright, and now at this point, I might be able to just attack both of these. Yeah, I think I can. Let's just jump into both of these zones feet first. And that should be the end of it. At this point, I have so little left to spend money on. Let's just get those. Okay, that's a little concerning. There we go. That should help. That should do the job. There we go. Alright. Yeah, we've got this. Ah, that's why. So oftentimes, insurgents will get a boost in a zone where a camp is before they do destroy it. So that's why he was having a little bit more trouble than I thought, but we're almost there. I'm just, again, filling up things. Maybe I'll do a, yeah, that's something to spend money on. Great. Do that. That's a little bit of initial cash, not a big deal. At this point, that's about to be destroyed, and we should be all done with insurgents, yes. Let's go ahead and turn national forces, remain indefinitely, and finally, there we go. Agree to peace deal. And that should be the ball game there. Yep, you see them brightening up very quickly. 1, 2, 3. Are we going to get 4? There it is. Whole map is green, and that is a victory. There we go. I have successfully completed this week's Brutal Challenges. This one was actually... You know what? This one was actually pretty straightforward. I did not have a lot of trouble with this one. I think it is because they handed a lot of boons to the general that really helped him out. Again, the general already starts with being able to make national soldiers more powerful, and he starts with more garrisons. And in this case, they gave me even more garrisons. I think I started with 6. And there's, I don't know, roughly 20 regions in the map, give or take. I'm approximating. I don't know the number off the top of my head. But let's see. If we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that's 8, 9. And let's say that's a third of the map. So 20, so let's say around 30 regions in the map. And they started with 6, which means 20% of the, well, actually more than that because I have the HQ. That means 20% of the regions, or of the zones, have garrisons in them. And that does not count the ones they help protect with the boost. So, plus starting with a national soldier already means I can already start preparing my counter-offense, get them where I need to be. So I think that the disadvantages of this one, like, I really never had to deal with them killing a national soldier because I never was threatened. Like, there was one that was, like, kind of close at one point, but I was mostly able to fight back enough that there was never a risk. Let's take a look at some of the stats and see what we got. Stability, yeah, that was real steady. Like, again, this went up. I really didn't receive any spikes or anything like that. My reputation was real high for a lot of it. I don't even remember what it was at the end, but it was high. I just never had to worry about it. It never fell. It only went up. It never fell below where it was, which is very unusual for the general. Corruption was the one I had the most trouble with, but realistically, that really didn't impact me that much. Still, there was some time. I think this is when I had my technical difficulty, so I was focusing on other things, but I can't remember. Yeah, this really was not. This was not a particularly difficult challenge, I don't think. So, what did you guys think of it? Feel free to put a comment in the video, and if you liked this video, if you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.